Who is ready for the gist? We are looking at the journey sperm must take in the goal of conception. I'm about people they don't show. Now this is what happens. So let's start from what I've already said. Every second, about 1,500 sperm cells are produced. So if you would do the math, by the end of 24 hours, over 100 million sperm cells would have been produced. I'm talking about healthy individuals, right? Healthy individuals. So if that is not your case, don't worry, we'll get to you. So about 100 million plus will have been produced at the end of 24 hours. Now, by the time you knock waiting no good, right? That over 100 million plus will be packaged. Now, sperm cells are produced in the testes. But what you see with your eyes is called semen. And semen is the packaging for sperm cells. So by the time you are knocking waiting no good and the sperm cells are being released, what happens is there are other organs in men that secrete things, the packaging for that sperm cell, like the prostate and other organs, other glands. I don't want to mention the names. So they will secrete all that stuff that you see to package the sperm cells in their millions for delivery. Otherwise, the delivery process will not be effective. That's the reason why all those secretions are necessary. So it packages it and deliver it. And remember, in the process of delivery, because they are live cells, they need to be sustained, they need to be nourished, they need to be protected from damage and kept alive, right? Now, it is delivered into the vagina. And we said before, the vagina is harsh. And several things can make it harsh. Of course, because it's actually an outside place. Several things can make it harsh, right? Infection can make it harsh. pH changes can make it harsh. Even your emotional state. Your emotional state will affect your pH. And there's a particular pH that sperm will survive. So let's leave that matter. We'll come back to it other times. Right? So because of that condition there, several hundreds of thousands of cells will die, whether you know it or not. But the journey has begun. The journey has begun. Cells begin to race forward. The first checkpoint or barrier is the cervix. And remember that the cervix has mucus. And this mucus change in its consistency across the months, right? Depend on the phase of cycle you are. So if you are in your follicular phase, luteal phase, and it changes. We've talked about that before. So if you are doing this knocking waiting no good around the time of ovulation, definitely the cervical mucus will be clear, slimy, just the egg white consistency, right? Which supports or allow sperm to pass through. Even at that, several hundreds of thousands, even millions will be trapped. Only the strongest will be able to swim through that mucus. So in the cervix alone, millions will be trapped and they will die there. For the ones that are able to pass through into the uterine cavity, that is another checkpoint. Please tap on your screen. Everybody just stop. Now just wait for Amebo. Nobody stop it again. They are enjoying this. Okay, we'll not talk again. Please tap on your screen, share the live, invite those people that needs this information. It's very important because sometimes most people suffer for a very long time because they don't have knowledge, and that's why I try to make it this interesting so that the weight will be taken off your heart. So people are depressed because of fertility, right? You say you are enjoying it. Please, as you are enjoying, be tapping on the screen. Right? Because infertility is a serious matter. I tell you the truth. It's a serious matter. So when we try to not downplay, when we try to make this thing funny, it's because of the way I already know the emotional implications of when people are trying to. So we just want to ease their burden by bringing it in a lighter note. But I hope you are learning. Because if you don't learn, you will pay. Right? All right, where was I? So by the time the sperm cells, remember, millions have perished in the cervix already. Millions have perished there. So the ones that are able to cross through the cervical mucus will face another checkpoint, and that is the immune system. The immune system. Now, the female immune system there is to protect against foreign invaders that can cause inflammation and infection. So what does it do? It attacks anything that is not from the woman's body, including sperm. So sperm had to go through that danger of destruction. A lot of sperm, millions of them, will be destroyed in the uterine cavity. But again, some number will survive that onslaught, and now they will get to the fallopian tube. But before they choose which part of, remember there are two fallopian tubes, right? Because they now have to choose where is the egg. The egg has to be in one of these tubes. Where is the egg? This is where something interesting happens. The egg on its part is also choosy, just like women, right? You hear women say, "Oh, I want a tall, dark, handsome, rich guy," that kind of thing. So the egg does the same thing. Yeah, the egg does the same thing. The egg is choosy, and the easiest way for it to choose, it releases a scent, right? It releases a scent. It's only few sperm cells that will be able to perceive what you call the chosen ones. They are the ones that will be able to perceive that scent, and of course, they run in that direction. The others will have to move blindly, whether to the left or to the right. So by the time they get to the fallopian tube, few more, because by the time you get to the fallopian tube, the hundreds of millions of sperm cells that was released would have been reduced to somewhere around 300 or somewhere around there. Good evening, Deja Rufai. Good to see you. Such a long time. You're welcome. Good evening, Mary J is here. So by the time they get to the fallopian tube, millions, hundreds of millions would have been destroyed. So these few hundreds, which is anywhere around 200 to 300 anyway, will still continue to make their way forward. And now in the fallopian tube, there are projections from the wall of the tube. If you were here when I was talking about blocked fallopian tube, you already know what I'm talking about. So those projections, many of the sperm cells too will be trapped there. They get stuck, they get stuck. Now the ones that didn't get stuck will begin to change they will begin to change their dress. Why? Because if you are going before the queen, you must look good, you must look presentable and acceptable, right? The egg does not have bad heart. The egg is just full of shakara, right? Wendy, good evening, good to see you. You're welcome. Right? So the sperm now has to change its clothing. There's a technical name for that. I don't want to bother you. I just want you to know what's going on. Right? It changes its clothing to appear acceptable, nice. Of course, you know, women, when you go to visit them, those days, men or suitors go to visit women in their father's house and they stay outside and gist. The man will go. Well, I think these days they've changed it to eateries, hotels, and all this kind of thing, and that's why there's a lot of problem with anyway. So when people come in those days to see a woman, the girl and maybe family members will be looking at, oh, he's handsome, oh, he dressed very fine. They don't actually rate you with whether you brought a cow or those kind of things. Those were not the issues those days. They just how nice looking, how well dressed, and the small nylon bag you carry for your hand, right? But now Gen Z have changed it. You must have a car and you must have a lot of money to throw around before they can choose you. Anyway, so these sperm cells will have to change before they continue their journey, right? And they will continue that journey towards the egg. By the time they get to the egg, it will be who gets in first. As they plunge their heads into the egg, the moment the first one crosses, the egg seals up the entrance. No more entry. That is how one sperm cell eventually fertilizes an egg and a baby is born. Now, the reason for this gist is you need to understand that you must be able to produce millions of sperm for fertilization to take place, because of the several things that happen on the journey. At the vagina, sperm in their millions will die there. At the cervix, sperm in their millions will die there. In the uterine cavity, sperm in their millions will die. Now imagine you that you cannot even produce enough sperm. Which one will reach? That's the reason biology made it that way, that man must continue to produce sperm back to back, back to back.